This girl killed her boss wife and get charged to 10 years in prison. But why she killed her will shock you. Stay till end. Her name was Juliana. She was 21 when all this started and she wanted a better future. In 2021, she left Brazil and moved to Virginia in the United States to work as an au pair. An au pair is basically a live-in nanny who stays with a family on a work visa. That's when she started working for a man named Brendan. Brendan was 36 and married to a woman named Christine. They had been together since they were teenagers and they had one daughter. Juliana was hired to help care for that little girl. She moved into their house and had her own bedroom there. For about a year, everything looked normal. Then Juliana and Brendan secretly started a relationship behind Christine's back. Very quickly, Juliana wanted Brendan only for herself. She acted like he was her boyfriend, even though he was married. She took photos of them together and posted them online. But since he was married and living down the hall from his wife, she covered his face with emojis so no one would know it was him. Over time, Juliana didn't just want Brendan, she wanted Christine's whole life. And Brendan also said he was unhappy in his marriage. He didn't want to divorce Christine. He was afraid of losing money and possibly custody of his daughter. So he told Juliana he wanted a future with her, but he said that for that to happen, Christine had to be gone. They agreed on a plan to kill her and blame it on someone else, and they started preparing. They went to a shooting range to practice. Brendan installed special soundproof windows in the house. He also checked around the neighborhood to see if anyone had cameras. He even started building an alibi weeks before anything happened. Every morning he went to the same McDonald's for breakfast, so on the day of the crime it would look normal. Being on camera there would help his story. He carefully planned every detail. Brendan worked in law enforcement. He was an IRS special agent. His job involved investigating financial crimes. He believed he could outsmart investigators. Next, they needed someone to blame. They went online to a website for people with certain adult role-play interests. They used Christine's photos to make a fake profile. Juliana pretended to be Christine and messaged men on the site. She told them she had a fantasy involving forced role-play. Some men showed interest but wanted to meet in public first. Meeting in public didn't fit their plan. They needed someone who would come straight to the house. The men who asked for public meetings unknowingly protected themselves because they never got involved in what happened next. So Juliana and Brendan kept searching. They looked for someone who wouldn't ask questions. That's when they found a man named Joe. Joe agreed to come directly to the house. He believed he was meeting Christine for consensual role play. Juliana and Brendan prepared a room to match the fantasy. The next morning their plan began. They told Joe to arrive early while Christine was asleep. They left the front door unlocked. Joe walked in and followed the instructions he had been given. He undressed, tied himself up, and put on a blindfold. He believed it was part of the role play. While he was tied and unable to see, Juliana walked up behind him and shot him. At that same time, Brendan was at McDonald's, visible on security cameras. After the shooting, Juliana called Brendan. That was his signal to return home. He went upstairs where Christine was still sleeping. He attacked her with a knife until she died. 2 innocent people lost their lives that morning, all while the little girl was still inside the house. Afterward, they staged the scene. They made it look like Joe had broken in. The story was that Joe stabbed Christine, and Brendan claimed he shot Joe in self-defense. They had practiced this story many times. When police arrived, they repeated it. At first, officers seemed to believe them. It looked like their plan had worked. Juliana was no longer just the nanny. She moved into the main bedroom with Brendan, the same bedroom where the crime happened. She removed photos of Christine. She replaced them with photos of herself and Brendan. She even told the little girl to call her mom. It looked like she had taken over Christine's life, and Brendan still had his money, but police were still investigating. Forensic evidence showed that Juliana shot Joe. She was arrested. At first, she refused to blame Brendan. And his McDonald's alibi made it hard to charge him. For a while, it seemed like he might avoid arrest. About a year later, investigators found more evidence. They recovered photos of Juliana and Brendan together. The emojis didn't hide his identity after all. Police confirmed they were having an affair. They also found photos from the shooting range. The couple had taken pictures while practicing with the gun. Juliana finally agreed to cooperate for a lighter sentence. Brendan was arrested and later went to trial. He was found guilty and sentenced to life in prison, while Juliana accepted a deal and received 10 years.
Most serious manslaughter scenario that this court has ever seen. Therefore, I do sentence you to 10 years in the penitentiary